inflated slow-mo ball behind you. So you can start lower back, middle back, a little bit higher if you want. For me, my lower back and pelvis is calling me a little bit, so I'm going to start there. You're walking your feet about 1.5 to 2 feet away. Good. And then you just take a moment to feel the pressure into the ball. And then you can start to do a squat down and up. So you're doing this wall squat with the slow-mo ball. So you might exhale down and push the feet into the floor to inhale up. Or you might inhale down and exhale and push the feet into the floor to rise up. So you choose. So do vertical. Check in if the ball wants to adjust. So we're just warming up the fascia and the muscles. If you have longer hair, you can always, I'm just going to wrap mine up because the slow-mo ball does have a little grippy sensation that if it does grab hold of hair, it pulls you. Yeah, there you go. And then from the vertical, you might go a little bit from side to side. Mhm. So it's really nice to go in the upper shoulders. You can even go and put the slow-mo ball around the upper back and the neck. Really nice to lean the neck back into the ball. Sometimes even just feeling the ball form to that secondary curve in your neck is quite nourishing. You can go in lower back. Ah. This is a really good time to go back to that cleansing breath in the nose, out the mouth. Crawl inside of yourself as you be aware of your body and space. And you can roll wherever you need. Might be across, I'm moving down into my sacrum now. And we have off the sacrum, which is a downward pointing triangle bone at the very end is our tailbone. We have a lot of nerves that come off the sacral plexus. One of them in particular that a lot of us are aware of is the sciatic nerve. So all of these little nerves, right? All of these, this bunch of nerves forms into one really long, thick nerve. Okay, and some of us feel it when we get pinched maybe here or something else is happening. We got lights going on. This is really great. um, you can feel it down the leg. So the farther you feel a nervy sensation down the leg, the stronger pinch. Okay. Mhm. Good. Ah. So some of us do this one at home. Some of us remember it, or some of us come into the studio when we do it. You go, oh yeah, this one. So you can roll if you're feeling some holding in the hips today. You can even roll onto the side of the hip. So I've got the ball here. You can even roll through the rib cage. So middle back and then roll through the rib cage. You can roll through the sternum, facing the wall, the chest. Just going to be mindful of my microphone here. Sometimes when the front of the chest and the sternum is really tight and it's drawing down in the fascial restriction, you can see if the chest drops, then the chin goes more into an extension and we get a lot of neck discomfort. So sometimes what I'll do is you can do it with the slow-mo ball, but sometimes what I'll do is it's best skin on skin is I'll put my fingers on below the sternum, about a couple inches, and then I'll just take the flesh and I'll push into the sternum and then slide that fascia up. And for some of us, we can feel a really big, deep neck release. Yeah. And it's going, yeah, up, right? And you can feel how, oh, I'm a little bit dropped in my heart. So if we tend to, and sometimes it's really difficult to even notice we're doing it because it's like a subtleness from this to this. And this motion, right, of just dropping your heart a little bit, I can feel right away that I go into extension. Yes, and I call it always the turtle, which some of us know. And you start to go into the turtle, which you're overusing your extensor muscles and your flexor muscles, which are in front of the neck, which we strengthened with the hands behind the skull and leaning hands into the skull. Those help to strengthen the muscles in the front of the neck. Yeah, so you can move now if you choose, and you do not have to a different ball. Now, this would be, does my body want more pressure? Okay. If you want a deeper release, now that we've warmed up the tissue, you can take your two balls. Now, remember, you can have the two balls on either side of the spine. You can also move one or the peanut ball to the right or the left of the spine. So you can just roll up and down. So here's our QL, right? Lower rib, top of the hip. Yeah, and some of us might be really tight there, especially if we've been gardening lately. Hey, when we garden, we sometimes lose awareness that of how we're bending our body, and then we really tighten. We come back later and we're like, "Oh my God, my back and my SI joints sometimes are really tight." You can also, if your hips are the one that are coming in, and I know, Donna, this is one that you really like too, you can have it on the side of the hip, which would mean that you would be facing the wall and you can go up and down. You can also roll it front to back and you can go down the iliotibial band as well. Okay, so just going to give some time here to explore. Yes. Now, this is one that we haven't done before, but this is going to feel in some areas for you. I know, right? Where you can feel, right, from the injury now that it's been enough time, right? That we don't want to press too hard. So just going soft and just letting it unfold for you. So if you have one area where you're like, whoa, I'm holding a lot there, back off a little bit, breathe. You should be able to breathe and your face should be relaxed. Hey, so if you're making a lot of faces, then you're maybe putting too much pressure on the ball. Okay, and where you're rolling, I don't want you to go any more than 3 minutes in that area. Okay, so you can go back to it in a day or two. Right, so if the next day after you roll, your body goes, "Oh, I feel a little sore from where I rolled," let the tissue rest. Check in with it the next day, and then the body might go, "Okay, I'm ready for another rolling," or it might say, "You know what? I need to rest again." So sometimes there's a 2 day, sometimes 3 day, depending on what you do, rest in between ball rolling. We're so excited that we have free tennis balls now. Yeah, I'll start to get some more fun colors of tape. I'll see what they've got going on. And as we gather them, we can we can do some work where you can make your own if you don't have one. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, right. So good. And they're very empowering because you can keep massaging your body out as you need it. Yeah. Okay, so where have you got it? Because your body's going, wow, that's a good spot. Are you in your lower back? I'm everywhere. Yeah. But right now you're up and down. Yeah. But right now there's a spot there that, and up here there felt like there was a spot too. Yeah. Yeah, I felt there. Your body was saying there, but also nice to release in the lower back too, right? Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever done this one before? Okay. Hmm. I know it came in fascia day today, and I was like, yeah. I know, no, Peggy, you haven't done it in a bit. And this one always like brings you into a happier place in your body. Those of us who know we have a little either functional scoliosis in our body, which is holding patterns from the muscles and the fascia, or we have a structural scoliosis, we might notice, oh, this is really helpful. Yeah, we're just going to take a couple more minutes for you to explore, just checking in where you are because, yeah, hey, yeah, I was going to say, so were you right at the top of the, yeah, yeah. Mhm. I was just going to say where you were sometimes, right? That ball, if you find the top rim, and sometimes you just roll the ball across this rim when you get to the spine, skip over and do the other side because it could be, yeah, there, all across there. And so just think of the whole line right now. Yeah, there you go. You just let some of that pull go. Yeah. So I was just kind of sharing as we just kind of finish up here the top rim of the pelvis. Okay, so we have a lot of muscles that attach onto it. If you have the two balls together, you can have the ball vertically there. But you at least have to want to have one ball so it just rolls just above that. And you can roll all across there. When you get to the spine, stop, move the ball over onto the other side of the spine, and then roll. So you can go all the way around. And you might notice there's some area that is holding, and that is part of you have a lot of muscles. You have your lats and all your deeper spine muscles, but you also have the thoracolumbar fascia. Okay, so we're just going to end as we just kind of finish off in that area. That's a good spot in there for you. It's right in there, right? Yeah. And I think the one ball you can really identify where it is a little bit easier for you. Yep. And so it's nice sometimes just to use one ball. Sometimes it's nice to go two. When you use one, it's very more directive. Hey, you can find one spot. Hey, the two is nice because it kind of distributes it a little bit more evenly. But sometimes it's nice just to go to one ball. Yeah. And to know wherever you are, what's working for you right now, right? Yeah. Great. So you take the next kind of half a minute or so just to finish up and note as you start to come back to your mat and you put the ball off to the side, we're all going to join at different times, just at one short end of the mat that we've identified as being the top, feet hip width apart, arms by your side. You can feel palms facing the body. You can externally rotate so palms face forward. But just want you to feel, should let that truck go by. I just want you to feel now as you breathe, might be in the nose, out the mouth. It might be a pursed lip breath in the nose, pursing the lips. You might have a little sway from right foot to left foot as we identify, what's changed from when you first arrived in class today to how you're feeling now. And noticing the empowerment that we offered body and mind today to know that there's a tool you can use now at home with a wall space. You don't have one, just close a door.